So just a little background, I have another album that you guys know, and as part of the supportive pastor Harry it's handed out to the new people here, which is amazing. And I was able to do it in the studio, but we did it slowly because there were some parts we had to pay for, of course. And it took 3 years because I would just kind of work for a while, get some more money, kind of pay for it, and it was just, it turned out fine, but there were parts that I couldn't finish because of the timeline and so it was fine, but there was nothing really left over to bring it anywhere, and so I was grateful for the opportunity to sell it here. But there's just songs in our heart, and I kept feeling like the Lord kept saying, this is what you're supposed to do, even when it looks like, why, and what's going to happen, and is anyone going to hear this, and is it going to bless anyone? But I just kept feeling like he said that, and so Galen had it in his heart, and he's been pestering Nate asking Nate diligently.
Sweetly
when are we going to record?
Hey, Nathan, what do you think?
The persistent widow is in the Bible. It's like prescribed by Jesus, you know what I mean? So don't put me in it.
And that's my husband, I took 3 years earning little by little to make an album, and he persisted and has been asking Nate. And so we started recording, and we were going to do one album together, 10 songs. And one morning I was just in prayer, and I felt like the Lord said, you and Galen need to polish your 5 smooth stones. And I didn't know what he meant, but you guys need to each polish your 5 smooth stones, which if you know the story of David and Goliath, David went out into the river, and he took 5 smooth stones, and he put them in his pouch, and they were ready to go for slaying Goliath. And that's something that I think God's spoken over us, is that our music will also have a deliverance aspect to it. But I felt like the Lord said, each of you polish your 5 smooth stones. I was like, okay. It's like, maybe that has to do with music. We get into the studio that day, and Nate was just like, you guys, I just want to tell you, you both have such different styles. Alyssa, yours is so corporate worship, and Galen's, yours is more of a folk Jesus music. I really feel like you guys need to do 2 separate EPs. And we counted out, and turned out that it would be 5 songs each. And so I just really felt like that was our 5 smooth stones each. And so we've been working on this.
Is Nathan also amongst the prophets?
Yes.
Okay.
He is prophetic. I know he is, because otherwise, why would he work with us? It's like people who step into something when you don't see it yet, So, anyway.
So you're doing a more of a worship-ish. By the way, what is an EP anyway?
Extended play single, but really what practically it means is it's not a full album. It's like about 3 to 5 songs.
Tell us about the folk Galen stuff.
So the things that just come out of me when I start to write are extensions of sort of my processing with the Lord, and so they're a little more contemplative. And I'll plug for 1 second. I also love a lot of white Christian music, but a lot of white Christian music, we tend to the more sort of moody, brooding side, and then black gospel is really praisey, or even any other culture. Alyssa said Hispanic or Latino music, but I wanted to make white Christian music that is not depressing, and one style that we can do authentically is sort of a folky, I'll use the B word, bluegrass kind of sound, and so that's why we split them up, because mine were a little twangy, and Alyssa's were straight corporate worship.
So excited about this. So you talked about this 3-year process, and I'd work, and I'd save my 8 nickels, and could do, go do a little bit more. We're doing it differently this time. Talk about that.
Well, this time we actually had a lot of people who volunteered their time. We had musicians who volunteered their time, studio time, different. Even the mastering guy was giving us a break, and different people were like, yeah. And I realized after a while that even with all of that, we wouldn't be able to make ends meet for the album, and I wanted to put a value on what everyone had been doing for us. And so we're actually going to raise funds for this. And actually something kind of funny, this isn't me, obviously, you guys, and I think a lot of us are kind of modest in this way, where we don't like to raise money. But this morning, I was just doing my reading the Bible in a year plan, and I started it late. I started in September. So today I just started listening to it, and it was Exodus 35, which talks about Bezalel and Aholiab, which the Lord anointed them to do craftsmanship and art for the temple, which now we know we are the temple of God, Ephesians says. But but it also says that there was an offering, and the offering came in for that artwork, and it was above and beyond. And we're raising a generous amount to us because we want to be able to pay people what they're worth. It's not actually going to go in our pockets. We're going to pay different people. But I would even love to raise more than that because then we could pay more to the church, or you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool.
So tell them how they could find a way to throw cash at you. They could walk up and just hand it to you today, but besides that.
We're launching an Indiegogo, which is, it's like Kickstarter, but if we don't make our goal, we still get some money.
It's like a GoFundMe-ish thing.
Right, it's a crowdfund. And so I just posted it to our artist page. We're fancy now, too. And to our personal Facebooks. I think it's going to be up on your website, but it's Galen and Alyssa Rea at Indiegogo. REA, is the spelling of our last name. And, yeah, they're really cool perks. Obviously, the art itself, you guys are the inside circle, so we'll give you the whole scoop. But, yeah, it's Alyssa's single, hopefully, release in January, mine in February, and then she has an Easter single we plan on releasing in March.
5 songs and your 5 songs.
Yeah, Alyssa has 5 songs. I have 5 songs, and then her Easter single. And so those are in the perks. There are like other rewards. I'll let you go check out.
Say it again. Galen. What is the address?
Yeah. So the website, the crowdfund platform is Indiegogo, Indiegogo, and the sub page would be Galen and Alyssa Rea, and our last name is REA.
You could also on Facebook, we just launched an artist page. It's Galen and Alyssa Rea, REA. And you could like that. We'll post everything on there. And that's about it.